The Witcher 3 is a game, well, about a witcher, believe it or not. And witchers do witcher contracts to survive, so of course the game has a lot of them. There are good ones and there are bad ones, but which one is the best? Now technically Blood and Wine is a witcher contract, but I'm not gonna count that. From Crow's Perch or Oraton, you can pick up a contract called the Beast of Honorton. The contract says there is a spook haunting the woods nearby and they need a witcher. So Geralt, the ever hustler, goes there to kill the monster, but when we reach Honorton, all we find are some Alguls feasting on the corpses of the dead villagers. So some might say we got here a little late. But then I'm sure you know how it goes from here. We find the head of the Leshan Geralt was supposed to kill and see that all the villagers died from sword wounds. Very precise sword wounds. And in a barn we find a broken pitchfork that Geralt has a few words about.
Pitchfork. Dangerous weapon at close quarters.
If you know, you know. We also find a dead elderman and the chain from a necklace or a medallion. Then we find a little girl that tells us that another witcher beat us to the contract but then killed everybody, only sparing her. So Geralt, being the model citizen, never killing anybody, goes to confront him. We find a wounded Gaetan or Gaetan in a nearby cemetery, and this is where the quest gets really good and morally complex. If you decide not to kill him instantly, which you should definitely do, you'll get from him the whole story. And personally, I do really believe him. What happened is that Gaetan, I will call him Gaetan, came to the village to accept the contract, negotiated with the elderman for a fee, and got to work. He killed the Leshan as we saw earlier, but when he came to collect the money, well, they said they only would pay him 12 crowns. Now 12 crowns sounds like it's not that much.
12. Understand, pal? 12 fucking crowns. Barely covers my potion ingredients.
And seeing that Geralt sometimes gets like 300 crowns for a bullshit monster, yeah, I would say they wanted to scam him. After that, the elderman said that he has some hidden money in the barn, and there he and two other guys tried to stab Gaetan with a pitchfork, and we know this to be true because we saw the broken blooded pitchfork. Unfortunately for them, he didn't drop dead, but instead killed the whole village in a fit of rage. He only spared the little girl we saw earlier because he said it reminded him of his little sister.
The girl. Why'd you spare her?
Cause... it doesn't matter.
Wouldn't have asked if it didn't. Talk.
Reminded me of my sister. How I remember her from... just before they took me away to the School of the Cat.
How is she now?
Died about 10 years ago. Of old age.
Geralt also says he is familiar with the peasants' behavior, but still, he never massacred an entire village. Now, after we heard everything he had to say, we have two options: kill him or let him go. Personally, I think that this actually is a very complex decision. Let's start with the reasons to kill him. Well, that's kind of simple, he killed an entire village. Now, I don't know the medieval demographic for Velen, but I'm guessing that that was a lot of people, and I mean we saw them. Now, why not to kill him? And I'm gonna be honest, I think this is usually the option that I choose. Well, firstly, the villagers did try to scam him, then kill him after he literally saved them, all to save some coin.
I'm used to shit bounties, to the cheating, to them begging me for help and then spitting as I pass. But murder me? Just to save a few crowns? I'm supposed to protect Horsens like that?
Now, not every villager took part in the murder attempt, but as he says, he did lose his head, which I think is normal. I mean, if some guys try to kill you for a couple of coins, how would you react? I'm not saying killing dozens of people is the answer, but you know, not everybody is perfect, especially not a genetically mutated killer. He also shows remorse, which after killing some random people is quite good. And what he said about his sister, the fact that that little girl reminded him of her and now she's dead of old age while Gaetan is still alive and well, brings us to the dilemma most witchers eventually have. The fact that at some point they all hate being Witchers, and not because they don't like the life, but because they didn't have a choice. We also see this with Lambert. So if you decide to kill him, well, you kill him, but he plays dirty, or he kills you if you're severely underleveled. But if you decide to spare him, Gaetan will give you the location of his stash, and you will get his sword, which is a really cool sword. But also we see more trophies on the walls, and Geralt wonders why he didn't turn those in either. Plus the ever famous Schrodinger's cat Easter egg. But tell me, which option do you usually choose, and why? If you're wondering what happened to the girl, you take her to her aunt, and you can give her some money for food, or not, I mean it's your choice. But I'll see you soon again. Goodbye.